style. Navigate by using the L1 or R1 button. Exclusive demo scene. Twofold prologue. Okay, let's try with the prologue. Tomorrow after day. Tomorrow's another day, sorry. Olive's story begins with a whimper. That what's wrong with you? I needed a sound. Yeah, we totally need to clip. You can when I'm gonna when the VOD's gonna be available. I need someone to turn this into a bite, and I want a sample of that. Olive's story begins with a whimper, overwhelmed trying to juggle work and college. The latter had fallen off their priority list. Oh. It would have stayed there at the college, not given them an ultimatum: raise their GPA or be removed. Okay.
College will open new paths for you, is what my mom had always said. I took those words to heart, despite my usual cynicism. Even as my high school friends drifted away from me over the years, and the stresses of moving out and living alone mountain, I continued to believe in them. Then came today. The meeting with the advisor was never going to go well. Academic probation isn't a term thrown around in good circumstances.
Yeah.
Even with all that, a 1.2 GPA was a surprise. 5 whole credits.
Yippee.
After cruising through school before college, it feels like a bad joke when I repeat his coldly delivered words in my head.
Raise your GPA or you get expelled. Room 13B?
My heart sinking. I finally closed the door behind me. A chapter of my life closes with it.
Walking by the bike propped up against the wall, I shiver from the chill of fall running through my apartment. The practically non-existent insulation does little to keep the cold out, nor the noise. Without a roommate to share the spares with, there's little to hear but the occasional passing traffic. I hardly mind. Solitude is more comfortable anyway. Unfortunately for me, that same silence makes me focus all the more on my failure. Upon reaching the living room, I simply stop. It's not like this should be out of left field. I stopped checking my grades on the school website, knowing full well that the hours eaten up by work would take their toll. Between working late and studying early, it's all I could do not to fall asleep during lectures. Denial. That's all it was. Now it's caught up to me, and I have no real way out. What do I do now? For all I've tried to avoid burdening my mom, neither of us could possibly afford another semester or so of college if I failed out. I shuffle to the kitchen counter and grab a glass of water to calm my nerves. With little else available to distract myself from what I should be doing, I stepped over to the fern on the sill and slowly drizzled the pebbles around it with water. I'm surprised it's still alive after all this time, having brought it when I moved here. Managed to take care of a plant feels like a bad consolation prize, given everything else I've messed up. All I can do is sigh and appreciate the chance to wind down a little by caring for the thing. With the soul darkened and leaves shining from the droplets of water, I put down the glass and fall back onto the couch. Might as well get this over with. I fish the phone from my pocket and navigate to my mom's and to the contact list. Then I press the call button. Anxious seconds go by as it rings, before she finally picks up.
Hello?
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Olive. How's it going?
I just got back from talking to my advisor.
What did he say?
Her cheery tone drops a little. She must have heard the defeat in my own voice.
It's... I have a 1.2 GPA. Only 5 credits.
I feel like I'm deflating as I sink further into my couch. I thought I'd be scared or frustrated at how bad this is, but that's worn off and become a dull emptiness.
Oh, honey.
The last tone of voice I wanted to hear was that sweet, concerned voice. It'd be so much easier if she just yelled at me, a sentiment I've thought more than once.
It's okay. This doesn't mean the end. I know someone as smart as my Ollie can find a way.
If I pulled off a decent GPA and passed all my classes and managed full credits for them, I'd still end up short. He did try to give me some options, but...
See, there you go.
I don't know if they'll do any good, Mom. It's an intro art class and a creative writing class. He even said they're basically filler.
It sounds like it's something you should try, don't you think? You could easily tackle either of those.
I've never been good at that kind of stuff. You know that.
You can only give your best shot. I think that's more than enough.
I think she needs to do more than her best shot. She needs to actually pass those classes.
You've been through harder trials in your life, and you've overcome those, and you're so much stronger for it. What this means is that there's hope.
Hope. I really wish I could have believed her on that one. This is one hell of a long shot. I did fine in topics like science and math back in high school, but I never had an inkling of creativity. The art scenes is also the last place I want to be anywhere near. Passing one of the 2 courses could give me barely enough credit to pass. Barely understates things. Then again, the pass is a pass, and skipping a semester isn't an option financially. Mom would doubtlessly do her best to help cover the cost, a fact that puts a knot in my stomach. All this is just trying to rationalize away one simple fact. She's right.
I'll do my best. Sorry for putting you through this.
Honey, you don't need to apologize. I know there's a lot going on. I know you're doing what you can. You always have me on your side. Your advisor wants you to succeed too. That's why he gave you this option. I know you can do this. I'll see you at work in a couple of days. We can talk about this more there, okay? I know it's easier said than done, but try not to stress yourself out too much about all this. Maybe you can make yourself something to take your mind off things. It's nearly dinner time after all, so make something nice for yourself.
It's a better solution than drowning my worries in some greasy fast food, as much as I'd love to take the easy way out of any additional responsibilities tonight.
Alright. I'll try. See you.
Bye, Olive. I love you. Just remember that tomorrow's another day.
Love you too.
And with that, the line goes dead. The big moment is over. I rest the phone on the coffee table before me. Starting tomorrow, I have all of 1 week to decide on one of the 2 classes. A class that will decide whether I get a college education or stay stuck in this rut for probably the rest of my life. All I have to do is pass an art or English class to do it. As the silence of the apartment starts gnawing at the back of my mind, I decide to get up and start preparing that dinner to distract myself. Prologue by a thread. Okay. Sketchy proposal. Okay, so this is the exclusive demo scene, okay? Shortly before the events of Twofold, Haley and her roommates share an awkward breakfast together while Caprice and Millie move forward. I don't know the story! Okay, the story continues in the full game. Okay, that's how it works. Ah, okay, so we have an art friend and an English friend. Okay, so that's how it works. Before joining the artwork club, read. Before joining the writing club, read. Okay. Okay, sketchy proposal. As Olive trials the art class, their desk big pokes and prods until they eventually open up the conversation. Her name's Caprice and her art club can help. Or so she eagerly claims. Okay. That's an interesting way of telling a story. The next day. Today marks the beginning of the experiment. The drop period for classes ends next week or so, and at my advisor's suggestion, I've signed up for both the art and English lessons. The plan is to sit on both, decide which is best for me, and drop the other. I only need one to survive, and I'd rather not stuff my already full schedule any more than I have to. So here I am, sitting in art class. Gone back and forth on this all day, oscillating in between I don't have an ounce of creativity, there's no way I can do this, and it's just drawing, right? Could it be so hard?
And from there, we will cover the Futurist movement, which after its founding in 1909...
Wow. I think I've settled on there's no way for now. Try as I might to take proper notes, I have no idea what I'm writing down. Psst. Oh, that must be Caprice. A movement in the corner of my eye and a small trippy voice beside me aren't helping. Hey. The thing in my peripheral vision is shoved further into view. Glancing over shows it to be an open notebook, which I try to tune out. The notebook slides back and forth in response, tapping on my own book as I try to write. Grimacing only spurs them on, and now sure that they have my attention, what do they want from me? I slightly slap my hand down on the paper, stopping their movement. Far from being discouraged, the culprit beams back at me as I glance over. Cast against the window beyond her, the girl smiles cheerfully. The two of us couldn't look more different than as I stare wearily at her, the sun behind her paling in comparison to her own bright nature. She gives me a thumbs up of encouragement, turning a bemused, furrowed brow. Might as well humor her at this point. Hey, you look pretty lost. Are you doing okay? Do you need some help? I raise my eyes back to the author, only for her to resume her thumbs up pose. She generally interested in helping or just making fun of me. Okay, so if I can't read this, I can press square to read that. Okay. Just trying to focus. Would it be too rude to add that she's only making it harder? I decide against it and slide it back. Yeah, I know it's hard. This guy teaches it is so boring. But listen! I know all about this stuff. I can help you if you want. Question mark. Is that a author? Like, I don't know, Lala, if you were like this, but would you squiggle some drawing next to notes you would give to in class or with a friend? I look at my syllabus on my desk in front of me, full of names and terms and concepts I know nothing about. This class isn't just drawing at all. It covers everything from art history to social movements. My heart sinks at the sheer breadth of knowledge I'll be needed. The professor's droning lecture is soon lost on me as my attention wanders to her notebook. Though she's dedicating the full page to this conversation, I can make out various notes about art bleeding through the back of the page, even if the handwriting is hard to decipher. My eyes drifting further, I notice another look sitting on her desk, an open sketchbook this time. Its page covered with drawing off of this and that. That's in addition to the doodles in the notes she's been passing me. Okay, sure. I was about to write I'll be fine and I erase it. The class must be perfect for someone like her.
Yes!
Upon reading my note, she suddenly shouts aloud in excitement. All I can do is freeze as the attention of the entire class, including the professor, is instantly drawn to her.
Yes. Caprice. Is there something you need?
Hello, Douglas. Now that you finished, what's your opinion about 100 Line? Okay. My opinion about 100 Line is... where do I begin? There were some good and interesting endings out there. I feel when I finished the game that there was they could have gone and continued the story like after the ending that I would choose, like at least giving us a day 101 as a proper epilogue, because right now there's a story and then you get to choose basically how the story goes, but I feel like the story was about the mystery behind everything, and I stumbled upon the truth way too early. And then when it comes to the lock ending, and then getting, you know, the special timeline they wanted me to complete in order to get behind that lock, which gives, you know, the what they call the steady timeline, which is basically made out of leaps through other timeline. Like the history is fascinating, the gameplay is fun, but I feel like I completed the game too early and I expected so much more of this game, and it felt like a feeling of wanting more. And I will not recommend this game to anyone who is really not 100% committed into those kinds of game. It's quite an ordeal. Like, I haven't clocked how many hours I put into this game. I want to say around 300 hours. And the playthrough, when I put my parts all together, makes for 93 different videos. 93 vids. Almost 100. So, yeah, I would recommend it for people who are already fans of the guy, of the author of Danganronpa. And it was a passion project, I understand. It was quite a nice story. I enjoyed my experience. But yeah, soon I'm gonna make another video once I'm done recalling, taking notes of all the ending, and then I'm gonna do a tier list. Right now, I have taken notes for the third of all the endings, so I need 69 more endings to go. He pronounced side makes it all too obvious that he knows this particular student altogether too well.
Just excited and ready to learn. Is there something you need?
I need you to stay quiet while I'm talking. That's okay with you.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
She gives an exaggerated salute, which seems to satisfy him. There are a few quiet giggles around the class, not that she seems to care. She turns and sees me watching, which prompts her to give yet another thumbs up. And after a moment's scribbling, to give her yet another note in the corner of her page. Let's take the after class. I know just how to help you. I'm Caprice, BTW. Let's talk after class. Okay. Oh. She signs the note, though I already caught her name from the professor saying it. I figure I might as well reply one last time. I have no idea the kind of person I've just agreed to talk to. Is she normally the type to pass notes and shout out during class? The last time I remember communicating like this is elementary school. The rest of the class goes by uneventfully, for better or worse. I try my best to take notes and follow along, but by the end, the professor's ramblings and tangents end up overwhelming me.
Olive!
Before I can leave the classroom, I'm accosted by my new acquaintance. I had planned on waiting for her outside the door.
Olive, right? Olive?
As the language student that I am, I like that a lot of dialogue. VNs are not made to be played running. Oh yeah, for as much as dialogues are concerned, there's a lot of it, that's for sure. A lot of it.
That's right.
I'm Caprice. Nice to finally talk.
She extends a hand, which I take. Her shake is surprisingly firm and fast, my arm being yanked around by the slight figure before me.
Yeah, so...
So, listen. I'm the president of the art club here on campus.
Oh, really? Oh.
Well, not the art club, but one of the art clubs. The better one. Forget about that other one.
What other art club? Because I know we're taking another English class, so this you might be interested, Doug. The next chapter we're gonna be taking an English class, and we have to pick one. The art one or the language one.
In fact, forget I mentioned it. There's only one art club, and it's mine.
Oh no.
And you see, we're looking for members. Any level of skill will do. The best way to learn art is to work alongside your peers.
Hey.
So if you're looking for help, there's really no better way than to join our art club. We're all pretty much good artists who can definitely teach you anything you need to know. I can even offer you personal lessons. That's a generous offer from the club president, you know.
I have to stop this. I'm not looking for a club or anything like this.
Thank you. But I think I'll pass.
Oh no.
She retreats a step back, hand claps together.
I came on too strong. I'm sorry. Don't worry about all that stuff I said. I do think we could help you, though.
I appreciate the offer, really. But I just don't think...
I'm not asking you to join. Just maybe come by sometime. Oh, I know. I'll set up a club meeting for you to scope out. I'll let the others know to expect you once we can decide on a date. No strings attached. I think you'd fit right in.
Can already tell she won't relent until I gave in. I sigh. She's not going to let me go until I offer some kind of compromise.
Okay, sure. I'll give it some thought.
Awesome! Trust me, it'll be great. Anyway, I gotta go. See you around, Olive!
She pats me on the shoulder and runs out, leaving me in her dust. If I don't go, she'll definitely confront me about it next class. I'm not looking for a club to join, though, and I'd rather not deal with someone so high energy. Maybe just sitting in won't hurt. I'll worry about this later. I got places to get to as well. Bell House. The day after, Olive finds himself trying to make heads or tails of the art class textbook during a quiet period of work, preferring to avoid Caprice and her club if at all if possible. The universe unfortunately has other plans. The next day, The afternoon shift at the diner had proven to be a slow one, much to my relief. With Mom off for the day and the rest of the staff otherwise unavailable, I found myself idly flipping through my art textbook or at an empty booth. The contents are overwhelming compared to what I expected from a class like this, and I have to constantly remind myself that courses like this typically rely on participation and effort more than anything. Still hard to not stress out about as if my eyes glaze over foreign terms and information though. The small chime of the bell pulls me out of my trance as a customer sneaks through the door without me noticing. She looks so much like Kaede! Lala, look at her! Look at her and tell me that's not Kaede. I bounce to my feet to greet her, trying my best to hide how off guard I feel.
Hey, welcome to the Bell House. Party at 1?
I got to retrieve a menu for the woman as she turns to meet me.
3, actually. My roommates should be in shortly. They're just wrapping up a conversation out in the car.
Got it. Booth it is then. Right this way.
I take a few steps further into the diner, ready to lead her to a spot near the back. I only make it a couple feet before a voice interrupts my train of thought.
Hey Millie, catch!
That's Millie. She turns back around towards the entrance of the diner, handily catching a small keyring sent flying towards her. It takes a moment to get my eyes on the picture. A woman in orange and yellow seeming to be the culprit, and behind her... Oh no. That's Caprice. There's no other way to rationalize this other than some sort of divine level prank, as the leader of the art club from yesterday is the last to enter the tiny space. Much to my despair, she seems to recognize me as quickly as I recognize her.
Ah, it's you!
It's me.
I feel like I'm missing something.
Oh, right. Haley, Millie, meet the newest art club member. Olive, I'm pretty sure their name was.
Pleased to meet you, Olive.
This is Millie, so the orange girl is Haley. Her smile looks sincere, which makes the short pause beforehand even more concerning.
She got you roped into this without even having your name down yet?
She got it right on her first go, at least. I'm not in the club yet, though. Just testing the waters.
It's only a matter of time.
Uh-huh. Anyway...
Wanting nothing more than to be done with this interaction, I spin myself around and start making my way to the back of the diner, beckoning them to follow. It's hard not to notice Millie glance at the textbook I had left out as the trio passed it by. The three shuffle in, Caprice and Millie on the opposite sides, Haley opting to follow in after Millie. After I pass them their menus and pretend to look busy by wiping down the nearby table, the three make idle chatter as they talk about our offerings. I'd like to say I wasn't eavesdropping, but the truth is simply that they don't end up saying anything interesting. It's not long before they settle on their orders. Loaded fries for Caprice, a chicken sandwich for Millie, and a breakfast platter for Haley. The latter is a bit annoying to prep at this hour, but it's nothing I'm not used to at this point. Carefully seat each plate in front of this intended recipient. The fries give me a bit of a scare with a near spill, but Caprice helps save the dish in the nick of time.
Enjoy. Just speak up if you need anything else.
It smells great. Thank you.
With a small wave, I leave them to their meals, taking my seat back in my textbook a couple of booths over. My eyes continue to glaze over the writing and images. L'art pour tous. Art for everyone. Okay, there's a picture of some sort of statue. Looks like a carving of Jesus. The entire book is nothing but a jumbled mess to me. It's a more logical approach to the art, contradicting the hands-on approach of the class. To relieve the strain from my eyes, I occasionally glance up at the diner current guests. Millie's quick to steal a fry or two, with Caprice matching her roommate's thieving by taking a fork full of hash browns from Haley's plate. The laughter and back and forth would expect from stuff like this is more subdued than you expect, but they seem to be enjoying themselves. And then Haley spots me. I try to avert my eyes back down to my book to feign ignorance, but it's too little, too late.
Hey, whatever your name was.
Olive?
Olive. Hi.
Sure, let's go with that.
With Millie glancing over Caprice's shoulder and Caprice's head spun around, looks like I'm not getting out of this. With a resigned sigh, I stand up and approach their booth again.
Don't suppose this is just you asking for a refill?
Haley seems to consider it for a moment, glancing down her half-empty cup before deciding against it.
Maybe in a bit. Just figured you wanted to chat with you staring longingly at us like that.
Caprice and Millie share a glance. Question mark. Internally, I cringe. Thanks for wording it precisely like that, Haley. I have known you for approximately 5 minutes and I already feel like hiding away forever.
Sorry, that textbook was giving me a headache and there's not much else to look at in here.
Studying at work is impressive, though. You must really be invested in the art class already, huh?
Not at all, sorry to say. I've actually got another class tomorrow as a backup plan, in case the art one doesn't work out.
Oh, really? What kind of class, if you don't mind me asking?
Huh? Just intro to creative writing. Some small filler thing.
What?
Caprice slams both her hands on the table in shock, her head quickly turning between Millie and I. Her reaction combined with a sudden grin from Millie as me and an indescribable level of terrified.
Well, today's just full of coincidences. I happen to be the leader of the writing club on campus.
Are you for real?
We have our first meeting of the semester tomorrow afternoon if you're interested.
Oh my god! I'm stuck with either Caprice or Millie. Is that what they're saying? And if I choose one, since they're the same group of friends, I'm gonna end up having to meet the one I'm rejected. She retrieves her wallet, pulls out a small business card, and scribbles a room number and time on the back before passing it over to me.
If the art club doesn't work out for you, I'd be more than happy to help however I can with your writing course.
Wait. Olive, the writing class is going to be a real challenge. If we're thinking of the same one, Millie took it last semester, and I swear I saw her writing 8-page papers every other week.
I'd already been nervous about how tomorrow was going to go, and that definitely doesn't help matters.
You're exaggerating. Besides, that textbook Olive was poring over didn't look like much of a pleasant experience either.
I can't argue that point.
Okay, so both class sucks.
I can! I've had the same professor in another class. We'll hardly ever use the book. Either way, a little bit of studying and some doodling is a heck of a lot easier than what you went through.
Says the woman spending days at a time stressing about inspiration and color composition.
Caprice glares dagger into what I assume to be her friend. A far cry from her smile yesterday. Millie pretended not to notice, going back to her sandwich after I tucked the card away in my back pocket. I turn to Ailey, looking for some kind of explanation. I've met with a raised glass, the half-melted ice clanking against it as she shakes it around. Oh, now she wants a refill.
Lemon lime. Thanks.
Coming right up.
The Bell House, okay? 9's a crowd. Caprice roommate Millie seizes the moment to provide Olive a different option, her own club, focused on creative writing. Their first meeting is hijacked by the art club, and a battle over supplies for the school fairs ensues. Oh. The next day, the writing class ran longer than I thought that I would have liked. The professor definitely belongs in that course, with a clear love of language and words. A lot of words. The syllabus didn't enter our hands until 10 minutes after the estimated end of class, and the rigorous requirement listed on it didn't make me feel any better. Given Millie's experience in the class, I want to go in the club today feeling optimistic, but in truth, neither leader has done a spectacular job of selling me so far. Room 26A, 5:15 p.m. I mindlessly turned the card over in my hands a few times as I navigate the halls of the building. Judging by the advertisement for a car repair shop on the front, it's probably some trash she had yet to throw away before she handed it off to me. The information on the back was a lot more useful to me at the moment. I'm on the right floor at this point, at least. Now it's just a matter of time of finding the right door. 2A. The only thing unusual in this hall is a lanky guy fidgeting nervously outside of one of the rooms. The club room, as it so happens.
Huh? Oh!
A guy? Given by the way he jumps back, he seems my presence had gone unnoticed. He looks like us, but a male. Getting a decent look at his face, something feels familiar, but I can't quite place it. His wide eyes seem to imply he's come to a similar sort of conclusion.
Olive? Olive Penn?
Okay. They seems to know us.
Yeah, that's me. And you're...
We shared a few classes back in high school. I don't blame you if you don't remember. I go by Darren now. Darren Baker.
Darren? What do you mean you go by Darren now? Are you trans? It's not until he offers a feeble handshake that I realize who I'm talking to. We weren't super close or anything, but having a friend of any kind around after a little while over a year of solitude is enough to get a smile out of me.
I remember. Don't worry. You're looking good.
And you're looking the same as ever. Glad to see college hasn't changed you much.
Well, I think I might be overdue for a little change, honestly.
I end my greeting with a small chuckle to play it off, which seems to satisfy him as he retains a smile. If only he knew the half of it. As much as I'd like to do a bit of catching up and continue avoiding the matter at hand, I'm becoming more and more aware of how late I'm running.
Anyway, are you here for the riding club too?
I glance down at the card to triple check the details before returning my attention to him. He gives a dejected nod without much as even glancing at it.
Yeah. That was the plan, at least.
Something up?
Oh yeah, the fighting over the material.
It's just more crowded than I was imagining it. Lots of noise and talking over each other. I poked my head in for a second, and that was enough.
Oh. Oh, the song is called Pick Me Up. History.
Eesh. Yeah, I can't blame you.
It's good to hear that it's active, at least. I can definitely sympathize with Darren's situation, and it's a sentiment I'd echo in any other scenario, but sidestepping it is out of the question. I've already committed to checking out Caprice's Club, so at this point it's better to get as many options as I can.
Well, wanna check it out together? I haven't been looking forward to it much either, to be honest. But having a friend there would help. No pressure though.
I fully expect him to turn down the offer, not being shackled to the obligation like me, but instead his face lights up.
No, it's fine. It sounds good to me.
As soon as that door opens, the noise Darren warned me about becomes obvious. The corners of my mouth already felt heavy, but that's only intensified as I discover the source of the squabbling. In the back of the room is a small group of people talking among themselves, scouring through the corners for supplies. 4 people I never met yet. The lone woman sitting on one of the desks is entirely silent, tapping away on her phone as noise assaults her from both sides of the room. And in front is Caprice arguing with Millie.
It sure is convenient that you'd pick today to do this.
It has to be today. There's hardly any time left to get all of this sorted.
You couldn't even wait a couple hours?
If you just signed the papers, we'd be out of here in 15 minutes, tops.
The two continue their back and forth for a bit longer before suddenly stopping and swiveling their heads as the door fully opened to reveal myself and Darren.
Oh, what a coincidence.
You knew I was coming. You heard Millie offer as much yesterday.
That didn't necessarily mean you'd show up. I thought for sure you wouldn't have bothered.
Millie seems eager to respond, but instead just stands there silently fuming. The threat of a retort almost scares me more than if she had actually chosen to speak up. Caprice seems unfazed by her friend's body language and instead turns her attention to the back of the room.
Hey, you guys! This is Olive, the person I was telling you about.
Wow. That's the rest of the crew. The woman glued to her phone doesn't react, but the 4 in the back turn around to face us. Having just a couple of set of eyes on me is enough to make me want to shrink away into my vest, let alone 6.
Oh, hi. I'm Allison. Nice to meet you. Caprice has told us a bunch about you already.
So she's wearing some sort of gray-purple hoodie, some blouse underneath. She has long black hair. A small pause seems to imply that at the end of that interaction, much to my relief. Next to her is a tall, blonde, short hair, brown eyes, some sort of plaid ascot around her neck. Allison bumps her elbow into the arm of the woman beside her, which unfortunately seems to be enough to keep it going.
Eileen. Yeah, good seeing you. We're a bit busy now, though.
So this is Eileen. And with that, she turns back around and continues piling miscellaneous colored paper and craft supplies under her arm. With a small sigh, Allison resumes her work as well. Confident she's not going to be getting any more out of the two, Caprice focuses the attention to another pair of students. One of them looks like a teacher. He has a full-grown beard, rectangular glasses, blue-green eyes, short brown hair, wearing mauve aubergine turtleneck, and we have next to him one of those typical 80s Japanese tomboy girls with short brown hair, black eyes, with a tan. A tall and intimidating man casually leaning on the countertop, and a stern-faced woman watching intently as Elaine and Allison pick away the supplies.
The big guy's Wallace. Our newest member, excluding you.
And the last one?
She's not with us.
A surprising amount of venom in that response, more than I think Caprice is capable.
And thank goodness for that.
Tanya.
Name's Tanya. Thanks for asking. I'm with the writing club. Millie told me you'd be coming today. Didn't mention there being 2 of you, though.
Okay.
On that note,
Having had enough of this distraction, Millie makes her way back behind the desk at the front. She pulls out a pen and swiftly jots her down her signature before beckoning Caprice over to retrieve the paper from her.
here's my signature as assurance that I'll finish filling out the form after the meeting if it makes you feel better. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to actually have a meeting today, so I would appreciate it if you hurried up your pillaging.
Caprice opens her mouth, ready to protest and decide better of it. She gives the contents of the paper a quick skim. It must satisfy her as she joins her club mates at the back of the room.
Anyway, come in, you two. I was expecting Olive, but it's nice to see someone else joining us today as well. My name's Millie. Nice to meet you.
She extends her hand towards Darren, who reluctantly takes it.
Darren. Hi.
With a small shake and a smile, she ushers up a pair of desks, then makes her way up to the front of the room. She shuffles around in her bag, looking for some sort of reference material.
You've got quite the fan club, huh?
The sound of my forehead hitting the desk is louder than any kind of argument Caprice and Millie could have. A sharp clearing of the throat from the front of the room is enough to drag my gaze back up, albeit slowly.
With all of that finally out of the way, it's time to begin the first writing club meeting of the semester. Welcome.
Front and center of the room, open book in hand, Millie definitely gives off a natural kind of teacher vibe.
This club's one of the oldest in the school, so we have a lot to live up to. Tanya introduced herself already. She's been helping me keep things moving for a while now. The talkative girl is Heather.
Which one is Heather? Oh! The red hair was texting. She didn't say a single word. I almost forgot about her. Giving up on her phone for the distraction, Heather finally sets it down and gives a disinterested wave in response to Millie's equally lukewarm introduction of her.
So, it's not typically this busy?
Heather smirks, though it's hard for me to gauge why.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry about the bad first impression. Things are typically a lot quieter.
I don't even need to turn my head to imagine the look on Caprice's face. I brace for a response, but oddly enough, it never comes. While I'm sure the news is a relief to Darren, I can't help but deflate a little. It's my fault for getting my hopes up, but even I expected more than 3 people. Granted, Caprice's 4 isn't exactly a huge improvement.
Don't let the size fool you, though. What we lack in quantity, we make up for in quality. Here, look at this.
She approaches Darren and I once again, passing him the book she was holding just moments prior. I lean in to catch a glimpse and am met with a chicken scratch. A lot of it. There's more ink and paper, and that trend continues as Darren flips a few pages.
The club can be a great source of inspiration and technical know-how if you'll allow it. I filled up this entire notebook and a couple others just in my first semester here.
And how many pages have you filled out recently?
That would be Heather. The smirk from earlier has yet to fade, and as a matter of fact has only gotten bigger with a new remark. A grumble from the back of the room, from Wallace, if I had to guess based on the tone, follows shortly after.
Plenty, thank you. The club's recent downsizing hasn't had any influence on that.
Even with the rest of our club, all 2 of them, not really winning me over, the work Millie has on display is impressive. At the very least, I feel like I could confidently rely on her, which is a plus.
Millie knows her stuff, I'll admit that. But there's only so much one person can do.
I jump a bit in my seat, throwing my head around to find Caprice standing over mine and Darren's shoulder, eyeing the content of the notebook herself. What does that mean?
All I'm saying is that the art club, the entire club, would be able to help you. Unlike the writing club, our little circle looks out for each other.
Oh, is that what they meant? Like, there are 2 art clubs, mine is better?
Don't drag us into this.
Wallace.
Too late for that.
Without averting her gaze from the cabinet's innards, Eileen managed to swiftly shut him down.
Bold of you to hype your club up like that, given you didn't even bother to finish the paperwork to legitimize it in time for the fair.
I got a set of keys for a room and a bunch of like-minded artists. Being recognized as official would just be a nice bonus.
I'm pretty sure I have a pair of keys that you commandeered for yourself.
Hey, whose side are you on here?
Caprice's explosion is met with a small smile from Allison and even a smaller smirk from Aileen. They don't seem to be taking this too seriously, which honestly may be a point in their favor.
Thank you for offering to share your space, by the way, Millie. We appreciate it. Even if Caprice won't say so.
Come on, not you too.
You're very welcome, Allison.
Millie has a genuine talent for mixing sincerity and an underlying smugness almost perfectly.
Anyway, if you're all done chatting it up, we're gonna need you out of here soon. We were promised 15 minutes and you've already used up 5 of them.
Yeah, we're going. Just give us a few minutes to finish grabbing everything.
Wanna help us out, new kid?
Eileen continues her work, not bothering to turn around as she addresses me. Likely for the best, giving the mutual surprise on Caprice and I's faces.
Huh? If you're being dragged into the group, you may as well start getting used to it sooner rather than later.
What? No! I was gonna bring them to an actual club meeting. Show them the best we had to offer. I had plans.
I didn't expect Caprice to object before me. Eileen merely shrugs in response.
I also haven't really committed one way or another.
Wow.
I've heard that one before. 3 times, actually.
Jeez, what did I do to earn all this sass today? To be betrayed like this, time and time again, it's more than my poor heart can take.
Caprice cranes her neck back and places a hand on her forehead in a display of theatrics, fronting a couple of smiles out of Addison and Wallace. Far cries from the smirk that seems permanently glued to Heather's face. The thought of Heather is enough to remind me of my current situation, and I snap back to focus my attention on Millie and Darren. The latter seems content to keep paging through Millie's notebook as a means of staying out of the conversation, but Millie is obviously trying very hard to hide her transparent frustration with a smile.
It's fine. It'll get them out of the room faster and we'll have time to catch up after you're done. Win-win, right?
She couldn't sound more disappointed if she tried, and boy, is she trying. I don't want to flake on Millie or Darren, given I willingly put myself in here with them, but at the same time, it'll only be a few minutes and they'll tell me way more about the art club than a fully planned and a rehearsed meeting would. It's non-committal for now either way, so I guess it isn't a big deal, but it's hard not to feel anxious about it. What should I do? Offer to help or stay put? I'm gonna help. I second-guess myself for a moment, but eventually pull myself out of my seat. Millie doesn't say anything, but the frown on her face says more than enough.
Like you said, it'll just be a few minutes. Win-win, right?
She responds with a faint nod and even fainter smile, pushing her disappointment as far to the back of her mind as possible as she turns her attention to Darren. I wish it helped make me feel less guilty about things. As I approach the back of the room, Tanya takes notice and she starts making her way from the group. As we patch each other, she gives me a couple taps on the shoulder.
Hopefully they'll stay in line if they have a newbie to impress. Good luck.
And with that, she takes her spot next to Darren and Millie as I shuffle to the back cabinet.
Howdy.
Hi.
Open that cabinet there. We need any printer paper and glue you can get your hands on. The proper stuff, not sticks.
About as warm of a welcome as I can expect. And just do as she says, pulling the door open to reveal a handful of office supplies, in contrast to the various fabrics and colored paper they have amassed into a pile on the countertop.
Thank you for the help, Olive. Even if they're small, setting up 2 tables for the club fair is a lot of work.
It's fine. 2 tables, though?
Millie's sharing her space with us, so we're helping with the writing club setup too. Fair's fair.
Caprice is quick to jump in, eager to not give Allison time to form a more generous response, surely. Sorry. The relationship between Caprice and Millie is so strange, it's like they're fluctuating in how friendly they are with each other on a sentence-by-sentence basis. Even their actions are inconsistent.
So, don't take this the wrong way, but why help us out here anyway? You came here for the writing club, right?
He tries to make it sound like casual conversation, continuing to dig supplies out and adding them to the already rather large pile as she asks, but the tone of her voice betrays that pretty handily.
Well, Caprice mentioned getting your club together when we met in class the other day. I figured this might be better than forcing all of you to go out of your way for me.
Aw, see? They'd be a perfect fit.
Allison's smile reinforces Caprice's statement and forced me further into the cabinet to hide my blush.
Well, I'm glad you accepted my invitation because we've got things to discuss.
Uh-huh.
That's definitely up there on the list on most intimidating ways to open the conversation.
Allison was right. Caprice has told us a bunch about you already. Standard stuff. Flunking out, hoping to use the club as a lifeline.
I emerged from the cabinet, tossing a couple of stacks of unopened printer paper into these dark piles. Eileen's face remained unchanged as she continues sorting through her own mess.
I hope she said more than that.
She has. She talked about you being nice and hardworking, and being a good cook. Though I'm still not entirely sure where that last part came from yet.
I shoot Caprice a glance whose only response is a sheepish smile.
Yeah, sure, great, but none of that is relevant to the point I'm trying to get to. You're only going to get out of us as much as you're willing to put in. Don't expect any handouts, at least not from me.
Right to the point, huh? I guess that's fair, as much as I doubt my ability to live up to the standards she seems to be expecting.
When did you get so soft, Eileen?
What? That's soft?
Don't know what you're talking about.
Allison pauses her rummaging for a moment to pat Eileen's back a couple of times. Eileen freezes up upon the physical contact, but both resume their scavenging soon after.
Eileen may be scary, but she's right. As long as you put in the effort, everyone here will be more than happy to help. Right, guys?
Sure.
Well, if I can, I suppose. I'm not really great at drawing and stuff myself.
Better than where I'm at, I'm sure. I'd appreciate it.
Caprice shifts her eyes to Eileen to get her final confirmation. The silence hangs awkwardly for a few moments before Eileen puts herself out of the cabinet and returns to Caprice's glance.
Like I said, if they can prove they actually want to put in the effort, I'll help. But I'm not a charity case. If you're dragging them in, they're going to be your responsibility.
Oh, come on. It'll be a team effort.
Uh-huh.
It's a relief to hear that everyone would be willing to help at least a little, but I wish these two weren't so willing to try pawning me off to each other when I'm standing right here.
I'm capable of doing the work. I'm just trying to make sure the work I'm doing is good enough.
That sounds more than fair.
Here's hoping.
You really are playing softball today.
Eileen's grumbling from the cabinet signals the end of the conversation as the other club member resumed their stockpiling efforts. Caprice opting to squeeze in next to me, double-check my work. I'm thankful to work in relative quiet after being grilled from the get-go, but at least I left that conversation roughly knowing where I stand up with all of them, I think. With everyone focused on the task at hand, the pile of loose supplies starts looking hefty enough for the club to consider their job done, closing up the various cabinet and drawers as they organize the hall.
Sorry for dragging you along, Olive. Thanks for the help. See you at the fair, I hope?
One way or another, I guess. I haven't settled on anything yet.
Yeah, I know. I'm positive you'll come around in the end, though.
We'll see.
After forcibly dragging Wallace back to help with the heavy lifting, the art club files out Tanya, eager to close the door behind them. Their absence is immediately noticeable. The air feeling is just a bit less chaotic. That, though, typically come as a relief, but the energy they carry as a group almost feels contagious, a thought that keeps coming to mind as I resume my conversation with Millie until the end of the meeting. Further reading. With the writing meeting being as hectic as it was, Olive's left feeling like they have even less information to go off than before. Thankfully, an opportunity presents itself the day after, a chance to have a one-on-one discussion with one of the club's members. Allison and Heather. Okay. The next day. Friday, every student favorite's day of the week. Perhaps it's my imagination, but even as I head into the cafeteria, the chattering of the people around me takes on a slightly happier tone than the day before. As for me, my mind is still occupied with thoughts of clubs, classes, and my last-ditch gamble to survive the semester. My stomach grumbles, the smell of food from the table only reminding me of my hunger. After skipping breakfast and my rush to get to school, I need something more than a cookie from the nearby cafe to get me through the day. The food here is nothing amazing, but I'm hardly picky. At least lunch will be a brief break from my worries. Where can I forget?
Olive! Olive, hey!
So much for that. Caprice waves at me from one of the tables. She has an uncanny knack for detecting my presence in a room, however crowded and busy it may be. I resign myself to my fate and take a seat as the woman next to her gives a small, polite wave.
Hi, Olive.
The two make an odd contrast. Alice and shy, almost nervous, greeting in stark deference to Caprice's overabundant energy.
So, managed to survive Millie's lecturing after we left yesterday?
It was pretty quiet and low-key. Nothing that extreme.
By quiet, you mean boring, right?
Hey now.
Yep, it was boring and terrible. The typical writing club MO.
Now Heather has appeared, which can only make things better. Even though she's decided to walk up and invite herself into our conversation, she doesn't seem at all that interested in giving us her full attention. Engrossed in her phone as usual, she barely looks up to address us.
What?
Caprice is visibly annoyed, with Heather's only reaction being the corner of her mouth tugging upward. Heather's passion for pressing people's button doesn't stop with Millie, it seems.
Well, Olive, don't feel obligated to give them the time of day. We'll get you through the semester easy peasy. Right, Allie?
Yeah, of course.
Right again. The club is nothing more than a waste of space.
Hey! Nobody asked you!
What? We're agreeing, aren't we?
Nah. Heather's managed to frustrate Caprice into silence, as impressive a feat as any. She seems to notice my bemused reaction, face suddenly rebounding into a grin.
I still owe you a proper meeting. You'll come, right?
How do I keep getting caught in these conversations?
We'll see.
And all the ones after that?
Don't push your luck.
Well,
Great! I'll see you then. I gotta take care of some stuff for the fair. Bye, Allie!
She shoots at her one last venomous look before hopping out of her chair, beginning to head out of the cafeteria.
What about food?
Already ate! Bye!
How odd must have just been keeping Allison company. Wait, what was that she mentioned about a fair? Before I can call out and clarify, Heather once again speaks up.
Why did you even come to our club when you were already playing house over with Mommy Caprice?
Allison takes to her feet and grimaces at the comment. I can't help but match her expression.
Please don't call her that.
Just keeping my options open.
This might be a good opportunity to help with that. I've got a member of each club in front of me, though not for long, as Allison picks up her tray of food and slips into the nearby counter. Heather looks unmoved by Allison and Caprice's abrupt departure. She takes a seat at the table next to me, barely looking up from her phone. Occasionally, she'll sip from the can of soda she brought with her. She doesn't seem particularly enthused by the riding club, so I figure she wouldn't spare the unpleasant details. That said, Allison does seem like the honest type, even if she's more loyal. If I hurry, I can still catch her. Talk to Allison or Heather? Anyone's a better option than Heather. Her perspective may help, but ugh. Okay. I'm gonna talk with Heather. I had intended to get some food, but that can wait. This is likely as close to her full attention as I'll ever get.
So, about the writing club.
Don't ask me.
That was fast.
But you're a member, right?
Sharp as a tack. I was worried it may have flown over your head yesterday.
Why couldn't Tanya have been the one to find us here? I'm tempted to cut my loot losses and just walk away, but...
Are meetings typically like yesterday?
Who knows? I only show up often enough to remind them I'm still around. I'd imagine things are much less exciting with only Millie and her flunky loitering in a room together, though.
So Millie's the only one doing any actual writing, huh?
Oh, don't you worry about that. Tanya and I hand in papers every now and again if Millie asks. Gotta keep in the boss's good graces, you know how it is.
And you're doing a fantastic job of that, I'm sure.
If you're asking about the number of willing participants, though, I guess you're right on the money.
I don't know if I'd call a group like that the writing club, really.
You can call it a club all you want, but it's just Millie's hobby at this point. If she wasn't so obsessed, it'd be long gone by now.
Wow.
As soon as the old guard graduated, everyone left with them.
Yeah.
It was just a bunch of friends. The writing side was totally just in the name.
Putting her phone down, she leans her chair back and begins to rock dangerously while staring up at the ceiling. Feels like she's talking more with herself than me at this point.
Wonder what I'll do once the thing's put out of its misery.
If it's that much of a bother, why go there in the first place?
To kill time?
That's it?
That's it. What do you want, an essay?
Much as I want to think less of her for it, there's plenty of people who just go to clubs to pass the day. If what she says is true, that's all the club was ever for before Millie tried to give it a point. As I ponder, Heather becomes restless. She stands and gives a loud stretch.
I'm gonna go get another drink. You want anything?
If you're offering,
She's already gone. And she's gone. I guess I should have seen that coming. As she walks off, I sigh in frustration. It looks like no matter which club I go for, I'm going to be in for a trial. With class still some time ahead of me, I find myself wandering the halls, going over my choices in my head.
Hey.
Hello, Ailey. I just about bumped into Ailey, who's carrying some poster board and other materials. Art, sign up now.
Whoa. Hey, you need some help?
Without answering, she shoved some of her supplies in my direction, which I take. I already gave a general idea of where she was heading.
The gymnasium, right?
Smart. Come on, you've been drafted.
She goes and I follow.
So, how'd the meeting go yesterday?
You didn't hear about it?
Oh, I heard tons of things. But I'm interested in your perspective.
I would love nothing more than a 5-minute mental break from the Caprice and Millie war. Unfortunately, it looks like something I won't be able to avoid anytime soon.
Well, I'm not even entirely sure what happened. It felt like a sudden whirlwind.
Yeah, sounds like them.
As we enter the large building, I see that the area has been filled with tables, arranged in rows. There are students running about, renting their boots.
Hey, where are we taking all this?
Over here.
I follow her to a table. Or what's supposed to be a table anyway. Instead, I found 2 smaller booths cramped inside the same small space covered in red and blue cloth. So the blue cloth is for art, and the red cloth is for creative writing. One has a very formal looking sign which reads creative writing. The other has a very slapdash sign that only says art clearly written by the same hand.
You get the rundown on how they're sharing a spot already?
More or less. I remember them packing up a lot more than just a couple table plots and posters, though.
The art club is off turning all that into brochures and other promo material for the two right now. This is all just bare bones stuff.
I'm surprised Millie trusts them enough to handle that.
Haley tucks her armful of supplies safely onto the writing club's desk. I follow suit, emptying my hands as she lifts the club up for me.
Millie gets along well enough with all of them. It won't be an issue.
Could have fooled me.
Things are just complicated right now is all. You saw how they were at the diner.
Are you talking about the friendly small talk or them trying to poach me from each other?
That's why I called it complicated.
She brings a hand to her headphones, debating pulling them over her ears. After a moment, she thinks better of it, deciding to instead lean lazily against the writing table.
You're committed at this point, right? You're gonna be picking one or the other?
Yeah, that's about as far as I've gotten in my thinking, though.
No particular feelings so far?
Ugh, tons of feelings. Most of them dread. It all sort of cancels each other out.
Yeah.
Well, good luck.
Wait, what's up?
That was just Millie stuff. Gotta head over to the art room now.
Want me to come with you?
I've got it covered, thanks.
Once again, the headphones coming up signify the end of the conversation. She pulls herself up from the table and starts making her way past me without any further elaboration. It may be impossible to decipher a million caprices goings on, but trying to get a read on their roommate is an entirely different experience. I debate sticking around to catch her again, but decide against it and make my way out of the auditorium, going out of my way to leave through the opposite doors. I want to redo the chapter. I'm gonna choose the other clubs. Because Heather didn't give me shit. So I want more intel.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh.
We shared a few classes.
And sure, you...
Hey!
Name on... Here, now if you... Anyway... I was expecting...
Darren. You've come.
With all of that... This club...
So, it...
Oh, no. Don't let... The club can be a great... And... Plenty.
Millie knows her stuff, I'll admit that. But there's only... All I'm saying...
Too late.
Bold of you.
I got it.
I'm pretty sure I have.
Hey! Thank you. Come on.
You're very... Anyway, if you're...
Yeah.
Want to help us out, new kid?
Huh?
If you...
What?
I've heard.
I'm gonna go with stay put. I'd feel bad just leaving Millie and Darren like this.
original plan was to check out the riding club, so I'm gonna stick with that for now. Thanks for the offer, though.
Well, can't say I didn't try.
The response to my decision is lukewarm, the only one showing any kind of emotion over it being Caprice, a slight frown appearing only for a moment on her face, despite her earlier protesting. It doesn't last though, replaced quickly with her typical smile and a small wave before turning her attention back to her club. Part of me hates to turn down the chance to dig deeper into the art club, but I can't bring myself to split from Darren after inviting him in. I feel like I've gotten at least a decent grasp on their personalities, if not their talent.
I really appreciate it.
Just making sure. You know I still haven't made up my mind yet, right? I just want to hear more for now.
I know, don't worry. Now, where were we?
She rests her chin in her right hand for a moment, rewinding the past few minutes in her head.
Could we talk about the club itself some more, maybe? You mentioned downsizing?
Ah, right. That.
Millie's focus continued, though looking considerably more dour than seconds ago. After taking some time to choose her words, her expression changes once again to a warm smile, as if flipping a switch.
Well, everyone has to move on eventually. It just so happens that last year was the right time for a lot of people. It's just part of the college experience.
Oh, so that corroborates Heather saying that when the old guard graduated, everybody followed after that, because it was basically a group of friends.
Well rehearsed and squeaky clean, all in a matter of seconds. You never fail to impress, Prez.
I'm unsure of how to process that, and it seems like Darren's is in the same boat, with the only reaction from the three of us is a grimace from Millie.
As self-appointed club historian, I feel the need to point out that this great migration of yours only started after you took the reins, though.
Thank you, Heather.
No problem. As the last of the old guard, we have to look after each other, you know?
Confident that she's successfully gotten under Millie's skin, Heather returns to tapping away at her phone, smug expression never once leaving her face. Heather's done her job of getting me curious about Millie's influence on the club, but it feels utterly futile to ask Millie directly about it. Left unsure on how to continue this conversation, I turn to Darren. To my surprise, he seems unusually nonplussed about Heather's interruption.
A smaller club suits me perfectly, actually. I was a lot more anxious when I came in originally and saw so many of you in here.
Yes, exactly. You won't find a better place to express yourself if you're looking for peace and quiet.
That's one way to look at it, I guess. Darren doesn't seem to match my skepticism, looking considerably more at ease with Millie's assurances. I must be doing a poor job hiding my disapproval, as Millie is quick to shift gears once she redirects her attention to me.
But just because we're quiet doesn't mean we're an empty room. Tanya, can I borrow you for a minute?
Millie waves the woman in the back down. After giving the art club another cursory once over, she obliges her friend's request, casually striding up to the front of the room.
Hey again.
I want to give you two a proper introduction to Tanya. She's the most recent member, but she's already been a huge help.
Tanya responds by grabbing at my hand and giving it a firm, very firm shake before repeating the process with Darren. Given the way she gently holds the hand in question after the fact, it's safe to assume her grip took him off guard as much as it did me.
Millie Woo, you two over yet?
I think she might be getting there.
Good to hear.
Well...
2 words, barely even words, are enough to get a simultaneous frown from Tanya and Millie.
Still got some hangups?
I'm just not sure the club has what I'm looking for, I guess.
Well, let's see if we can address that. What are you looking for here?
Help with my writing class, assuming I stick with it.
Yes, I'm aware. Anything else?
The expectation in her eyes begins to waver after a few seconds of prolonged silence, making me feel as though I've disappointed her with my response. Tanya, in contrast, is practically beaming.
Is that all? Then you've got nothing to worry about. You couldn't ask for a better tutor than Millie here.
She gives her friend a playful shake on the shoulder.
What about you?
What about me?
I guess I was just hoping that I'd have more people around to bounce things off of than just the leader.
Oh.
She sheepishly rubs her head as she thinks, making a mess of her hair in the process.
That kind of thing isn't really my strong suit. I don't know if calling on me for writing advice would be the best idea you've ever had.
Before I even have a chance to air out my concerns, Tanya bounces back, pushing Millie forward.
I told you, though. If there's anyone who could single-handedly drag you across the finish line, it's Millie here. Right?
Well, I'd certainly try my best.
And so the pitch ends, closer to a whimper than a bang. Looks like Darren's probably been won over, sitting upright and excited at the premise of an empty classroom, but that's some promise of a near-deserted club makes me sink into my seat. I reach over and grab the notebook from Darren's desk, flipping through as if I absorb as much of the barely legible print as I can. The club's likely a wash, but it'll be hard to deny Millie's own personal expertise on the subject. I wonder if she'll really be enough.
So?
Millie sounds as uncertain as I feel, even with her friend still shaking her arms with a reassuring pride.
I'll think about it. Thanks.
Okay. So this scene again, but with Allison.
So,
Yep. Right.
Heather's only half paying attention to me to begin with, so I quickly get up and skip over to Allison as she strides off. I have no intention of playing peacemaker, but it's striking how strong her feelings on the matter are.
Hey, Allison.
Allison turns to me, her frustration with Heather is still simmering. She soon turns embarrassed at being caught fuming.
Hi. Sorry about Caprice running off.
No worries. She seemed busy anyway. Fair prep?
Yeah, we're all a bit behind schedule, so we've been kind of scrambling.
Heather gives a dry ha she overhears the last of our conversation before wandering off towards the food counter.
She's always so rude.
Allison pouts at her back as she walks away.
Do you interact with the writing club much? Outside of yesterday, I mean.
Every now and then.
What exactly is the club fair about? I saw it advertised earlier last year too.
Okay.
Every now and then. More lately with this fair stuff. Not like Heather's much of a club member, though. There's not much to it. A bunch of the school clubs set up in the gymnasium and try to recruit people. Mostly freshmen who haven't been poached yet. Millie offered to share her space, so we're sneaking in this year.
If you have a way to get new people like that, why is Caprice so dead set on recruiting me?
Caprice is really serious about the club. But you've probably noticed that already. Honestly, she's serious about everything she does. She wants to get every person possible. A dream of hers is to grow and expand the club beyond even the huge existing one. And
She trails off, suddenly going quiet as she thinks better of continuing.
And what?
to be honest with you, I prefer smaller groups. I'm fine with how things are. Nothing against you, though. You're free to join if you want. You'd love it, I'm sure. Everyone really is nice, and we have a lot of fun. Caprice is wonderful, too. I know she can be a little overbearing at times, but she always brings so much energy.
A little too much, maybe.
Sometimes, sure. I get it. When I first met her, I thought she was pretty overbearing. I wouldn't really fault you for thinking that.
She's good at what she does, though, right?
Oh, absolutely. Everyone there is. I'm still learning, but they're always teaching me new things. But I guess what's happening is...
She taps her finger to her chin, pausing to give her next word some thought.
Caprice wants us to be a legitimate club. A club that's official, real, whichever word you want to use. We aren't much of one right now. We barely nudged our way into the fair. Even then, we kind of cheated to get there.
If I join, will that even change anything?
I don't know. It'd take more than one person, probably.
Of course it would. More members would be helpful, but I wonder how many did even gain from an event like this. Then there's the fact that Allison here clearly doesn't want it. I wonder if I'd just be butting into some group of close friends, more than joining a club.
Still, we're going to do our best. You should do what's best for you, too.
Thanks. Sorry for keeping you. I'll see you around.
Allison gives a quick goodbye before skipping out to try and catch up with Caprice. What I found might not have been what I wanted to hear, but at least she was honest. Now time to actually get some food. Quietly mull things over as I head to the food counter. The art club is close and friendly. They're small because it's like they're a group of friends trying to be a club. The writing club isn't much, but at least Millie seems capable and eager to help. It's probably better not even consider Tanya and Heather as factors. I'm not sure if either is a good option. Hopefully this club fair will help me find better answers. And this is where we helping Haley with the stuff at the auditorium. Story continues in the full game. Twofold. Before joining the art club, read. That evening.
And so, to our newest member, Olive!
Caprice stands at the end of the table, raising her glass full of soda. Fortunately for the rest of us, her volume is just passable as an indoor voice. Unfortunately, she stands with such a gusto that the combined effect of her voice and movement draws the attention of almost every other table in our vicinity anyway. Content with playing along, the rest of the art club half-heartedly raise their own glass to match her, albeit with greatly diminished enthusiasm. The urge to shrink away into my vest grows by the second, and I only barely manage to resist it. Still though, I can't help but sink into my chair just a little. Caprice is quick to notice, eyes quickly meeting mine, her eyes as wide as it's been all night.
Come on, you too!
I feel the eyes of every single person around land on me. I give her an uncomfortable hand wave, but she just raises her glass even higher. She just doesn't want to drop it. In an act of surrender, I hold up my cup as well.
Welcome to the club!
The rest of the club is less enthusiastic in their following welcomes. Allison and Wallace upped a quiet murmur of agreement, obviously feeling the attention from around us as well. Eileen's response is a simple grumble. Satisfied with the response regardless, Caprice extends her glass and take a drink, ending her impromptu toast.
Pizza again, huh?
It's tradition. We gotta do this every time someone new joins the ranks.
Wow! Feels like if it wasn't attached to her face, Eileen's eyebrow would be leaving Earth's atmosphere.
Another tradition?
If we keep adding more, we'll be eating pizza more days than not.
Is that a problem?
For your diet. Oh, so I'm just an excuse for a party, okay. Something stuck at the back of my mind, but I shake it off now. An excess of celebration isn't that big of a deal, assuming we still get study groups together.
Now that Olive has decided to join our club, we're up to 5 members. And how many did that other club recruit? 0?
Caprice.
I'm kidding. I wish only the best for them.
I wish I could believe her, but the grin on her face tells a different story. From the moment Wolf left the fair, she's been beaming with a kind of competitive sparkle only seen in athletes. I can't help but feel a bit weird about it. I do need the help, and I'm trusting her to be my best bet. Still, at the end of everything, I'm just a pawn Caprice is trying to keep on the field.
Well, it was basically the flip of a coin.
So you say, but I'm sure you had your reasons. For example, it's clear we were the fun choice. Probably the most fun at the whole fair.
There are a lot of reasons, but I can't say that was one of them. It was mostly for the study help.
I don't intend on becoming your personal tutor.
Okay, fuck you too.
I didn't really plan on that.
Then you made the wrong choice. Caprice has been running us ragged since classes started back up last January.
Okay, the assuming we still get study groups caveat hasn't gotten off to a great start. Eileen takes a small sip of her beer before continuing her thought. I chance a peek at Caprice, who's suddenly gone quiet. She's struggling with a particularly large piece of pizza, trying to catch all the cheese before it slides off. Eileen continues to seize the moment.
The ratio of asinine field trips we've been taking to actual studying is heavily not in your favor.
It's Allison's turn for that stare. This time focus on Eileen, surprisingly. Eileen's posture shifts and her face softens just enough to be noticeable.
Caprice should be the one to handle the bulk of it, since she roped you into this.
As long as I can pass the semester, I don't really care how.
My eyes shift downward, feigning interest in the slice of my plate as smoke screamed to think things over. I said I don't care, but so far this get-together has me feeling more nervous than I expected. There's vague offers of help here and there, but it's hard to imagine how much of that is genuine versus how easily Caprice seems to wrap others into her excitement. And that brings me back to the head-on show herself. The more I sit here and listen to current affairs, the more I worry that perhaps I made the decision because I got wrapped up in her energy too. Like Eileen said, I'm here because of Caprice. It's too late to walk back that decision, so I have to trust her. Freed of her pizza, Caprice finishes all of her soda in one go and pipes back up.
None of that is important right now. We're celebrating. This is the beginning of a new year.
It's already fall.
A new school year. Caprice grumbles in protest at Wallace's remark as she takes off the hat from her head and wrings it out as if it were a wet rag, taking a moment to gather her thoughts. After the last imaginary drop is wrung out of the poor thing, she places the top of her head once more and her face lights up.
So here's the agenda going forward. We'll draw, create, and make more than ever before. And since Olive is just entering the world of art, we'll have to cultivate in them a love for it.
She looks at me and nods proudly, beaming. I feel the urge to remind her I'm looking more for study help than my own artistic awakening. But think better of it for now. Her eyes sweep across the rest of the table.
In the past year or so, we've only expanded more and more. It started with 1, me. And then soon there were 3 of us. Allie!
Yes?
Allison sips up straight, startled.
With this club, you found a new love.
Allison looks red and nervous, eyes darting around the room. She bravely looks to Eileen for encouragement, who responds with a simple shrug.
Of the arts, you mean?
Yes, exactly. Beyond anything, the strongest power art has is to connect people. Where stuffy old words aren't enough, you can always count on the visual medium to bring everyone together. Speaking of which...
She starts moving her pointer finger from Allison to Eileen, who looks unperturbed. Allison slumps in her seat, relieved the attention is off her. I guess she hates to be the focus even more than I do.
Not another word.
Caprice's finger glides past Eileen and lands on Wallace with a motion so clean you wouldn't think of it as the last second's course correct. These two really know how to navigate each other well, even if they're like oil and water.
And not to mention Wallace. You see? This club makes artists.
Eileen and I were artists long before you dragged us in here.
Details. Point being, the club is more than capable of molding someone into an artist, and that's exactly what it's gonna do. That's you, by the way.
I feel like we're getting ahead of ourselves here.
So the plan is simple. Create! Everything else will come naturally.
Caprice stands with her hands on her hips, seemingly done and very pleased with her speech. It takes a minute for anyone to react.
Is that all?
Sounds fine to me. The sudden shift to dramatics made me worried something drastic was about to happen.
I believe in freedom of expression, but as usual, I'll be directing meetings to help inspire you. Inspiration can come from anywhere, and when it strikes, you have to capitalize.
I wonder how many of these inspirational lines came from the internet and how many she's trying to churn out on the spot.
That sounds good and all, but how will it help me pass her actual art class?
Oh, Olive.
She gives me such a sad, pitiful look, like I've just asked out to boil water.
To understand art, truly understand it, you have to experience it. Be immersed in it. There's no better way to do that than to be surrounded by it all the time.
But do you guys, actually study?
Seemingly trying to help the conversation, Allison raises her hand meekly to join in.
I took that class last semester. A big part of the finals is about exploring the fundamentals in your own way.
What, like actual art? So what's the textbook even for?
It'll be fun. You'll see. What's gonna be your focus, Allie?
I was thinking of trying to get into sculpting or something this semester.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Branching out is important.
Caprice emphasized drawing so much going into this. I hadn't really considered that this club bothers with other art forms. But then the Fine Arts Club at our school, which I didn't even have a chance to consider joining instead of this one, probably covers about every form of art there is.
I've been trying some new brushes.
Wallace holds his phone up to show Eileen the screen. Allison curiously leans in to take a look. I can't see it from my angle, but trying to get closer to still look doesn't feel right with how new I am to this circle.
Huh, not bad. But man, a tablet just doesn't feel the same as the real thing.
I'm sure you'd be great once you got used to it.
I'm sure you would. As for me, I don't think I could ever go traditional. No undo. I don't know how you do it.
So he's a digital artist. Okay. He paints with a tablet.
That's why we practice.
I'll just stick to digital. Thanks.
Nah. Eileen the traditionalist, Wallace the digital artist, and Allison the experimentalist. Regardless of everything else, I could have done a lot worse at this variety if I was looking for help. As for Caprice, what does Caprice do? I've seen some quick sketches in her in class, but I like to assume there's more to her than that. I guess it won't hurt to ask.
Hey, what kind of art do you do?
She gives me a mischievous smile.
Oh, are you curious?
Not for long.
She playfully taps my arm.
Oh, don't be like that. I made the posters and flyers for our club, of course. You saw some of my best work at the fair.
Join the art club. Visit us in room 257. Just check the door is open. Eh? Is she bullshitting? Are those our best examples? The posters were eye-catching, but they felt like technique has been swapped out with raw energy while creating them. I guess that's solely on brand, but I'm not sure if pure energy and willpower are enough to help me brute force the actual technical know-how needed for a passing grade. Oddly though, those worries leave me briefly when taking the pride and excitement she has when talking about them.
I can show you more during the next club meeting if you want.
Sure.
But only if you have something to show me in return.
I haven't even started yet, and she's already giving me homework. The thought alone of going home tonight and drawing something as simple as a straight line to present embarrasses me senseless. Nevertheless,
I'll try.
okay. Act 1, work in progress. To be continued. Before joining the writing club, read. Few days later. It takes a moment for my eyes to adjust as I step out into the dazzling sun. It's a Thursday evening, and that means everyone with a life is leaving the grounds as fast as their legs can take them. Everyone else, myself included, is walking right back into the campus. I pick up my pace as I walk. It would look bad if I was late to the club I just joined. Reaching the art building, I wait for the flow of students escaping the day's classes to taper off, before squeezing inside and leaving the beauty of fall behind. Looks like a full house today, as sad as the idea is. The only sound to be heard is the squeak of a marker on the whiteboard. Millie shoots me a polite smile as she noticed me enter, before busying herself further with her very important work. Tanya rocks her chair while looking out the window, Heather apathetically plays with her phone, and Darren dutifully writes in his notebook. Taking off my backpack and swinging it beside me, I take a seat in the front row with the others, the only open seat being next to Heather. Can't imagine why. As the seconds roll by and at a loss for what exactly I'm supposed to do, I busy myself with looking around the mostly empty room. The really, almost, totally empty room. The desk organized into a perfect grid. Spare pencils fill the pen holders and on the benches around the room. The teacher's desk, commandeered by Millie, is neatly organized with a notebook and folders. Everything is perfectly set up for the class ahead. Standing alone at the front of the room, Millie looks more like an actor playing a part in an empty theater than a club leader. She's taking her time comparing the notes in her well-worn journal to what she's writing on the board, but she's coming across as more nervous than diligent. In my wandering thoughts, I lock eyes with Heather for a moment. I offer a polite smile, being that we're in the same club, for better or worse, it's worth to at least trying to get along with her. Rather than return the awkward greeting, she simply rolls her eyes and goes back to her phone.
Wow, the art club was that bad, huh? Caprice must have left a pretty horrible impression for you to end up here.
She doesn't look up from her cell as she talks, scrolling through her social feed way too fast to actually be reading anything on it.
What? No, it's not that. This just seemed like a more legitimate club. At the time.
Heather scoffs at that, half smiling in a way that mocks more than words possibly could.
What is it we're actually meant to do? Beyond writing, that is.
Show up every Tuesday and Thursday. So long as we have an extra warm body in the room, the club doesn't get killed off.
The snap of Millie's notebook closing takes my attention. Our teacher turning back to the classroom. Heather pointedly turns slightly away from me, ending the conversation.
Welcome to another meeting, members new and old. I'll get right into it since I know everyone's busy. Everyone will do some writing today on a topic they'll choose. You can finish your stories off after the meeting if you don't find the time today. At the next meeting, we'll share our work with each other. That'll help us all gauge where we're at in our writing skills and what we'd like to focus on going forward.
Unlike the dead silence from earlier, Millie's trying to project her voice in a loud and clear way, even if it's only the four of us. Whatever issues the club may be having, I'm reminded of why I thought it was the better choice. She's earnest, and at the very least gives off the air of a good teacher.
Question, Miss Clark? How long does the story have to be?
Only as long as you want. This isn't classwork.
Lucky us.
Unlike Tanya's somewhat rehearsed sounding participation, Heather isn't even hiding that she intends to do nothing. Darren looks like he's copying down the notes on the whiteboard, so that leaves only me left as Millie turns toward my direction.
If you need any help, don't hesitate to ask.
I don't know where to even start, to be honest. I haven't read a book on my own time since 5th grade. I'm better at more logical subjects. The arts aren't really my thing.
The world isn't so neat that everything can be divided up into logical or creative sorts. A blank page is always a writer's worst enemy, but this is a writing club, not a workshop. We can work through it together.
She closes her eyes, giving serious thought as how to best make do with my less than useful outlook. To my surprise, it doesn't take long before her eyes reopen, a newfound sparkle in them.
Tell me, where do you think a story should start?
At the beginning.
The beginning?
Wrong. A story starts with a plan. A story without a plan is just a meandering series of sentences.
When you put it like that, she's not wrong. You have to have an idea where you're going before starting to write the first sentence. I wasn't prepared for this passion. Glancing sideways to see if it's considered normal, my neighbor sits there unfazed, apathetically scrolling her phone. That answers that then.
So, let's start at the real beginning. The highest layer of writing a story. An idea. Someone give me a one-sentence idea for a story. No details at all, just the elevator pitch.
Okay.
A knight saves a princess from a castle.
Tanya jumps up, suddenly looking way more excited. She smiles at Mally, claps her hand together, and writes it on the board. I appreciate her input. The atmosphere of the room changes her so slightly in the spirit of collaboration.
Excellent. That's a high-level story concept. Ideas are quick and easy to come up with, but finding one you're excited about is the most important part. Now, down to the next layer. What 3 things should any story have?
Setup, premise, denouement. She pauses and looks back to all of us. Tanya sits back down and looks around to the rest of us for help. Seeing me more entirely lost and Darren avoiding our eye contact, Tanya gives Heather her desk a small kick. Well, a regular kick. Heather responds with an annoyed "Ch!" and glares at the ceiling as she responds. Consider everything about Heather, she was a pretty tame response. I wonder how often something like this happens.
Introduction, conflict, resolution.
Yeah.
Thank you, Heather. Now, Tanya's story about the knight and the princess needs an introduction, a conflict, and a resolution. Darren, could you fill that out for us?
I guess it'd be... The knight and the princess's situation is set up for the introduction. The conflict is the idea itself. The knight has to save the princess. Then, I guess the resolution is for the princess and knight to get married and live happily ever after?
Almost there, but the conflict needs to be an obstacle to reaching the conclusion. Why does the princess need saving? What's in the way of the two being together?
Yeah, the picture only shows her being stuck into a high castle, but who put her there? And what's at the bottom of the castle?
Usually, it'd be something like a dragon has her locked up.
Good, but now this story feels a little too formulaic. How about for the assignment this week, you all write the story of the princess and the knight with your very own twist. Something to make the story uniquely yours.
Something not about a dragon.
There's one last layer before we start writing in earnest. We have our outline, but now we need to attack the structure. How do you approach a big project? We need to take our story outline and break it up further into chapters. If you like TV shows, think of them as episodes, or maybe as different scenes from a play. How about 3 chapters, or just paragraphs for a short story, between each of the introduction, conflict, and resolution. You can change that as you go if things don't feel right, but that gives us a framework to hang our story on. There, does that look like something you can write?
I can kind of see it in my head now. Yeah. This whole process doesn't feel very creative, though. I mean, carefully dissecting a story into layers and components feels a bit clinical.
You wanted something more logical. There you go. A sparkle shines in her eyes. I've stumbled into something she wanted me to work out for myself.
So clinical that you might say it's almost logical.
Tanya gives an amused snort from the other side of the class, and even Darren smiles a little at that. She got me. She was leading me to that this entire time. Millie leans back on the desk behind her and let me stew for a moment.
There's no clear line between creativity and logic. You need both to write, or make any sort of art. To paint a person, I imagine you need to understand anatomy. To write a story, you need to understand structure and how readers will think. Don't get hooked up on being as imaginative and original as you can. Just practice. Write badly.
Yeah, it's okay to suck at first. Don't feel ashamed or apologetic about it.
After a while, you'll come to intuitively understand why some things work and others don't. Like a driver slowly learns to work a car without thinking about how they're doing it. And when you're stuck, you can always talk it out. Giving each other feedback is the most important and fun part of writing.
At this point, it's clear that Heather just doesn't give a fuck because that's not her crew. That's not her gang. But she's there. She remains here for a reason.
So take some time to plan it out, think of your knight and princess, and ask around if you're stuck. We can all share our stories next Tuesday.
The room's already awash in the orange sunset by the time I sit up to take a break. With the meeting winding down, the rest of the members having largely stopped paying attention to their notebooks, I look down at my own. A truly awful mess of words looked back up to me. Stuff like this makes me question the entire premise of writing. How can I mess up so badly at doing the very thing I did back in the high school English? With that said, I can deny that breaking down the story, as Millie said, has already helped a lot with the entire process. I think back to the literature textbook sitting somewhere in my apartment. The language was more difficult, but the whole point of the class has been about finding author intent and how it's successful. I'm still not confident in being able to identify what makes a good story, but having the vocabulary to start thinking about its components is a relief. As much as it seems like basic stuff, I can't help but be a bit annoyed at myself again for checking out all during my high school English classes. My saving grace right now is Millie, who seems to be more happy to use club time as a teacher rather than as a fellow club member. The ruffling of paper as people packs up makes it clear everyone else is either done for the day or giving up. Following their lead, I slip the pens and paper into my bag. With Darren still fussing about, Heather preoccupied with her phone, and Tanya chatting with Millie while sitting on the teacher's desk, it looks like I'm the first out as I give our leader a quick wave while passing.
Oh, before you go.
I stop in my tracks. Having so nearly escaped, the sight of Millie's hands happily outstretched palm off confuses me.
Yes?
Phone.
My eyes now read the request. Come on, she's gonna write her info.
I just wanted to take down your number and put in contacts for the others.
Even though she doesn't need the type to text non-stop or call at random hours of the day, part of me is dreading giving someone I've only just met my number. It might be helpful to have an hand in case I have an actual writing class question, though. Reluctantly, I pull the phone out of my pocket and hand it to her.
Why do you have everyone's numbers anyway? Don't you meet twice a week?
As she finishes up, Millie gives an alarmingly large grin as she places my phone back into my palm.
Ah, but that's not all we do.
Millie turns back to the club members, all stopping what they're doing as she proudly puffs her chest out.
To welcome in our new members, I'm announcing the first group outing for the reorganized writing club.
Hey! Pen to paper, Act 1, to be continued. She seems to be struggling, but we see all the other members to look out and Mini Millie holding a pen for her. Alright, so let's go with the exclusive demo stuff, torn in two. Shortly before the events of Twofold, Haley and her roommate share an awkward breakfast together, while Caprice and Millie move forward to meet the day. Haley is instead focused on the past. Okay.
Why don't we go out somewhere? Take the car together?
Weren't you just saying there's a lot of people out?
Yes, but it's nice out too.
Oh yeah, so about that news.
Let's talk about it over dinner.
Okay, you drive. I call shotgun.
I'm the only one who can drive.
And we're very appreciative.
I'm looking forward to removing my tire chains. It's a little warmer today, so the snow is starting to let up.
Finally.
It's about time.
I swirled the cereal in my bowl around mindlessly, it having long since gone soggy to the point of being inedible. Accompanying me to breakfast this morning are Millie and Caprice, a rarity nowadays. The former hovers around the coffee maker for lack of a better place to sit at as she sips at her cup. The latter munches on the microwave waffle, still somehow burnt. Wow! All of us are silent. Not long ago, that'd be a rare occurrence that I'd be thankful for. Okay, so this is a part of story we're playing as Haley. So that's why it was confusing, because at the beginning only Olive was introduced. But I could have jumped into that chapter as soon as the diner episode was done. Now though, I tried to fill this dead air before, but it's rarely worked. At this point, trying to start something feels like a hopeless endeavor. All I can really do is wait for one of them to break the ice. Caprice is the first of us to show any real sign of life as she lifts herself up out of her seat. Waffle mostly gone, the darkened parts carefully eaten around.
I gotta get going. I'm gonna go pick up my books for the semester.
As is Millie. I hope to hear her speak up and offer Caprice a ride, but I know better. I don't even need to glance at her anymore to sense her utter disinterest.
Sounds good. Want to meet up for lunch sometime this afternoon? Gotta enjoy our time away from classes while it lasts.
Oh, this is where they,
Oh! Actually, I was planning to meet with the club at the cafe afterwards. Sorry. Sometime before classes start again, though, for sure.
Yeah, sure.
Caprice grabs her hat from the counter and places on her head as she races out of the door, giving me a small wave before heading out. Her breakfast scraps remain right where she left them. She sighs. I glance down on my own milk-infused mush, and with a sigh, drag myself up and take the bowl in my left hand and Caprice's plate with my right. She's gonna clean over Caprice. Millie scoots over to give me space by the sink without prompting, though my work there is brief. I give them both a quick rinse and add it to the ever-growing pile of dirty dishes.
Offers open for you too? Got any lunch plans?
Millie gives the suggestion more than a second of thought at least. However, a frown that soon comes after tells me that I should expect a similar answer.
Sorry, Haley. The club fair coming up is going to be a big deal for us, given the state of things. It's probably for the best I get that squared away while I'm on campus today.
Even if I'm not surprised, it's hard not to be disappointed. I lean against the sink as casually as I'm able to pull my phone out of my jacket again. If for no other reason than to make sure my body language doesn't betray me. They look away. We stand there together for a few minutes before Millie sets down her cup and silently makes her way to the door. Must have been long enough since Caprice left for her to feel confident about not running into her again. She stops just before she leaves, my line of sight, and turns back to face me.
I owe you a meal soon. Hold me to it. Let me know if any restaurants catch your eye.
Feeling guilty, huh? Though I was doing a pretty good job of not letting on till now. An idea comes to mind. I hate to take advantage of her sympathy, but...
Won't say no to free food. Caprice gonna join us?
Predictable pause and shifting of the eyes.
If she wants to, sure.
The first time she surprised me all morning. I wish it didn't come about like this, but anything's better than a no.
Cool. I'll let her know.
And with that, Millie fixes her composure as best she's able and finally makes her way out of the door. And once again, I'm alone. A familiar feeling at this point. With no plans for the day and too awake to simply crawl back in bed, I continue to stand there, my eyes glazing over my phone screen. A picture eventually slides its way on screen, a memory from last year, one I regret not taking part in hindsight. So it feels like Wallace, Eileen, and Allie, and we have Millie and Caprice. And she's taking the picture. With no one else to see, I let my facade crack and my frown grows. A photo from practically yesterday, and I hardly recognize either of them anymore. Oh, the torn in two thing. Okay. With a weekend to reflect on both clubs and their leaders, Olive finds herself no closer to a decision. The club's fair is here, however, and the time isn't waiting for them. With a deep breath, they consider their option one last time.
So, have you made your decision?
Let's hear it!
So, have you made your decision?
Let's hear it!
Okay, that's all there is. Alright, so we finished the demo. Quite interesting. The art style is interesting. And thank God there's voice acting. Oh. This only removes layouts. How do I go back to... There's something available in the full game. Text to speed, auto forward time, music, okay, voice emphasis, yeah. Styling, story custom, fall, winter, text color, okay, music cues. Why is it not, Oh! We have the voice cast. This is Olive Pence, voice actor Dotovu. Typically quiet and guarded, Olive struggle while reaching out to others, joining a club out of necessity with a terrifying idea to them, but the alternative is worse. Oh. Capri Shifton, voice acted by Lisa Reimold. Leader of the art club, dissatisfied with the club that already existed on campus, Caprice decided to commandeer a room and summon loners to form her own. Millie Clark, by Jill Harris. The leader of the riding club, inheriting the former club after most of its members left, Millie works tirelessly to restore it to its former glory. Haley Kura, by Alyssa Park. Stuck in the middle of Caprice and Millie's fight for the better part of a year, Haley relies on music to escape her exhaustion and helplessness. Art Club, Alison Merlot, by Elizabeth Quindon-Felt. Though timid and nervous around others, Allison is endlessly sweet and cheerful to those she's close to, doing her best to help her friend find happiness. Aileen Turner by Kira Buckland. Interesting. I had no idea. Rough around the edges and blunt to a fault, Aileen often comes out as nigh unapproachable. That said, even if she struggles with saying so, she truly does care for clubmates. Wallace Moore by Stephen Kelly. Content to fade into the background most of the time. Wallace doesn't command much of a presence despite his towering appearance, and that's it. Boo! In other words, this guy's boring. Tanya Rivera by Daisy Guevara. one of Millie's closest friends. Tanya never falls to answer when she calls for help. Despite not being much of a writer, she's one of the club's most loyal members. Darren Baker by Rex Rosario. No overly skittish story major. He and Olive were acquaintances in high school, and that familiarity gives Darren the push he needs to join the writing club. Heather Brooks by Lily Emile Lammers. Infamous in the writing club for her mean streak, Heather's attitude towards Millie and motivation for hovering around the club are a mystery. Then we have The Family. August Band by Felicia Valenti. Olive's mother and closest friend. She constantly overflowing with hopes and optimism, which just seems to overpower Olive's pessimism. We have Charlie Shifton by Reza Reimold. Though typically laid back and down to earth, Charlie's job as an aquarium tour guide often requires higher energy and a loud voice, traits Caprice is adopted for herself. Then we have Mike Clark by Sean M.D. As Millie's father and a mechanic, he passed his love of cars onto her. Man, a few words initially, but friends and the family know him as a bit of a goofball. Then we have Etc. Additional voice provided by ... Natalie Von Sistine, registrar, Cyan, professor and student, Milo, the actual cat, Dr. Mo. So yeah, Charlie Chifton is parent with Caprice, but they're voiced by the same person. And then Mike is Millie's dad. Okay. Control War reading. Confirm X. Hide interface. History toggle auto forward. Skip text. It was R1. I needed R1. Alright. Let's go to main menu. Return to main pro. Yeah. Oops. Twofold Demo. Interesting. Will I buy the game? I don't know. It's a 4. A lot of people like the game, but those who didn't like the game really didn't like the game. And this game was released only on the 23rd. Alright, I'm gonna wishlist it. I'm more invested in joining the writing club, because the only down part is Heather is being a bitch. Even though it's a club that's going down, Caprice feels like she doesn't know what she's doing. And there's another art club, and the reason why she wanted to make her own hasn't been disclosed yet. And she managed to drag a lot of different people around her. I feel like the drama with that kind of story I'm less interested in. So this is why, if I play this game for my first playthrough, it's gonna be with the perspective of joining the writing club. Alright, so on that note, I'm gonna delete the demo. And we're gonna continue with... Oh, I have enough? Okay, I'm gonna take my pause to